Hello, and a very warm welcome back to the channel. I'm here today yet again talking about movies. Um, Decided for whatever reason to do all of these videos and get through all of the films I saw in 2025, and now I'm getting to the very top of the pyramid of the films I saw in 2025. Some for the first time, some are rewatches, and this film today in particular was a first time watch, one that I'm very excited to share. Just the fact that I've seen it, and now if it's ever mentioned, I can go, yes, I've seen that, and yes, it's brilliant. So today's film, uh, none other than, as shown in the title, it's Mad Max Fury Road. So this film, what is there to say about this film? I mean, first of all, I was always been drawn to the Mad Max films for at least, say, the last 15 years or so. So I've been big into the Borderlands franchise since 2009, and I'd always understood that there was an influence there in Borderlands from Mad Max, amongst other things. But I just never made the time for any of the Mad Max films, and it stands till to today that I've only ever seen Mad Max Fury Road. One time, watched it last year, and yeah, I've always had this thing with franchises where if I've not seen the old ones, I think, well, I've got to go back and watch the old ones before I watch the new one. But I'm working through that, and this is one example where I've managed to go, nope, I'm going to just watch Fury Road as my first Mad Max film and go from there. And I'm so glad I did. Honestly, this is unequivocally one of my favourite action movie experiences ever. And that's saying something, also considering I watched it here in kind of a home setting on a TV with digital Amazon Prime version of it. And it's one of those films that as soon as I was halfway through, I, even before then, I knew I was watching something absolutely incredible, and I thought, why have I not spent the time before? You go, why have I not watched this before? How am I only just discovering this now? Um, I think again, coming back to the established franchise element, maybe I thought, well, I'm not going to understand what's going on. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Even now, I couldn't even tell you clearly in detail what on earth is going on with the plot. I've just been recounting it on Wikipedia loosely to kind of remind myself what's going on with the plot. And I'm not going to get into plot in this video. It's really just going to be me kind of reflecting on some of the themes and the reviews and the scores, and I'm so glad that it's one that I took the Reddit movies recommendation to watch it and just ran with it and went, right, I'm going to watch it. And two, I'm so glad that not only did I really enjoy it, but it seems like the world has kind of appreciated it, and it's got a lot of appreciation and recognition just outside of Reddit, where I spend a lot of my movie reading time. Yeah, straight out the gate, it's got a Letterboxd score of 4.2, so I'm glad. It comforts me knowing the people of Letterboxd have recognised that it's good, sitting at 4.2, which is I'd say a very healthy Letterboxd aggregate. Rotten Tomatoes critic score 97% from 439 reviews, so that's it's got to be over 430 reviewers there that have given it a positive recommendation. And interestingly, the audience score Popcorn Meter down at 86%. I'm not going to go read into those reviews. Maybe I'm sure there's some valid reasons in there for that, but for me and what I look to get out of action movies and what I was able to get out of this film, it's like an easy, I'm calling it S+, so it's special, but it's like just that grade above, where really at the top of my pyramid of films I watched last year. The overall production presentation, I think the lived-in nature of the location where you can see they're filming, the sort of real tactile feeling of the action, and the grittiness of the actual desert that you can see that they're in. I'd got into the rabbit hole of reading a bit about it before I went into the film, knowing that it was a big budget film, cost a lot to build the production, the sets, some quite dangerous stunts going on, and I like to think hopefully that enhanced my viewing going into it, helped me kind of lock into it really and watch it. I'm almost certain that I would have had my phone off watching this. It's a habit I've been looking to do over the last year when I watch a film, is make sure my phone is switched off so that I'm not sort of thinking, notification. I'm just kind of trying to lock into the film, and this film I think really benefited from that, because there's just so much, just so much action crammed into the 2 hours, and there are some moments of slowdown, but it's just whether you're a fan of just going into it for Tom Hardy or any of the other cast, I think it's just a great action film, and you don't even really have to be into the sci-fi elements or the overall plot, but I think just on the stunts and the car chases and even just the location, the beautiful deserts that they're in, it really is a mad film, to kind of borrow the word from the title. What else do we have here? So we have an 8.1 IMDb rating, 8.1 out of 10 after over a million ratings. Okay, yeah, I'm so glad I watched it. I'm just so glad I watched it now. Obviously, I can make the connective points as well between Mad Max and Borderlands. I can understand now where a lot of those inspirations, particularly for the first game, came in. I haven't yet gone down the rabbit hole of watching the old Mad Max films or watching the Furiosa prequel, but that's certainly on my list. But yeah, particularly with this film, just incredible, just incredible. I can see here as well it won, I believe it's 10 nominations at the Academy Awards, winning 6 of them for best editing, best production design, best costume design, best makeup and hairstyling, best sound mixing, best sound editing. So all around it was appreciated by the Academy, it was appreciated by fans, appreciated by critics. I loved it, honestly. Absolutely one of the best films I saw last year, one of the best films I've ever seen without a doubt. And yeah, it's one of those films that I just think, goodness me, what was I doing in 2015, where I just completely didn't even think to go and watch it in IMAX or in the cinema, because I can only imagine what this film is like in the cinema. And yeah, if there's ever an opportunity for me to go and see this in IMAX, I'll certainly look to jump at that. But yeah, Mad Max Fury Road, absolutely one of my favourite films I've ever seen, and yeah, I'm just so glad it exists. Having read that there were great challenges they went through just on the production side of getting all the stunts lined up and the dangers associated with that, kind of a miracle of production as well. And yeah, all credit to George Miller as well, because it's just absolutely it's an unhinged film as well from the plot side. What's going on with the plot, which I won't touch on, but you can read up for yourself. Just purely as an action film with lots of action in it and good cast, good kind of good setting, great sound, great visuals. This really is a treat. This is a feast, an absolute feast of a film, and comes in a beautiful 120 minutes, which is something I really appreciate, for a pure action film, getting it at 2 hours. And it felt like 1 hour, it was that kind of pulsating action where it didn't feel like 2 hours at all. But this film's incredible. S+, absolutely one of the best films I've ever seen, probably one of the best films I ever will see. So super double, triple thumbs up for Mad Max Fury Road. So thank you for listening, thank you for watching, thank you for second screening, and hope to catch you in the next instalment. Until then, farewell.